In audio. In audio. In audio. In audio. In audio.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Contest of Speed. We are here for round 7 of the AM3 Championship in Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix. This track is 4.25 kilometers or 2.6 miles, 14 turns, and 2 DRS zones. So hopefully that will provide us with some exciting racing tonight. I am Red Devil, and I'm joined by my fellow commentator, Fragley. Hey, Fragley, how you doing?
I am doing good tonight. Excited for Xanderfort. I think it should be a fun track. It's a quick track, so I think it'll be interesting to see how the race kind of plays out.
Yeah, for sure. Very bumpy track though on the game. I'm not gonna lie. It's great to watch some of the racing in real life, but game maybe not so much. But we'll see how this goes. But looks like we have a dry qualifying here. Sorry, just a second. Give me a moment. Let me just start a prediction in the chat before we head out. And yeah, I think we're ready for some qualifying. Looks like, looking at the weather, it's gonna be completely dry for at least in qualifying, so that should be fun.
Yeah, that should be real nice. I feel like for all these drivers, I mean, again, I bet not a lot of them practice on the wet, so being on the dry is going to be super helpful. And it does look like we've got Matthew Roach on his way out on his first out lap, so he'll be the first one putting up a time tonight. And he's followed by a couple drivers now as well. It's like Scary Terry, Sarrazzle, McRib, all leaving pit lane.
Looks like Matthew Roach is in a little bit of a hurry to get to start his first lap. I think it's gonna be his debut tonight. So let's see. Let's go on board with the debutant for the first lap. But what are you expecting for the qualifying times to be around here?
I think we're gonna see a lot of like mid 110s. I think the pole position is gonna be a high 110 or possibly even into the 109s for pole position. But I'm interested to see what some of these drivers I know we've had Katya and Sarrazzle and Speedy be up in pole position in a couple of these qualifying. So we'll see how they do.
Let's go on board here with Matthew Roach for the first lap, heading through Tarzan. Now heading into turn two and three. Looks like he's a little bit loose there, but doesn't have his lap data enabled. But we'll still go on board with that. What we've got. Heading up into turns four, five, and six. Now heading towards these fast right-handers of seven and eight. Very crucial for the lap where you can lose a lot of time on these corners. Going through turn nine, you need to take a wide entry to go into turn 10 and then open up the DRS. It does it reasonably really well, I think. Going up into turn 11 and 12, going down to gear one, up into two and three now, going across the final two turns of 13 and 14, opens up the DRS, going through 14 now, about to cross the line. It's going to be a provisional pole of a 112.7 for the Aston Martin.
Yeah, I definitely think the fresh tires on the first lap, it's a tricky uh, setup, and I feel like you just got to warm these tires up as Scary Terry puts up a 111. And it looks like we've also
Mick
got McRib taking a provisional pull at a 1. There goes Sarrazzle at provisional pull at a 110.6, actually. So times are flying in, and I think as we see the track get a little bit more warmed up, we're going to see a lot more faster lap times coming in.
Entree just put in a 112.8, but there could be drivers who could be doing double outlaps as well, I think. So you never know. As we'll go on board with the Mercedes of Gustavo, I think he'll be next across the line. I didn't see what his middle sector split was. As Jay in the chat says, he's predicted snow for the race, low. But maybe we might see some rain. I don't know from that comment. But Gustavo goes P4 with a 112.4. Got a Red Bull, or is that Katja coming in?
Kaya coming in, I think, starting the hot lap right now. So we'll see what these Cash App Rebel driver can do.
Let's go on board with Katya actually. Going through, uh, I think that's turn 4, 5, and 6. Do you want to take us through?
Yeah, so it looks like they're starting sector two. It looks like they're dropping into sixth gear, coming into corners, trying to keep it tight. Definitely looks like they are coming through the corner into third. Um, as they're finishing up in the sector two, coming into the final corners and going to be starting sector three right now. We'll see where they're able to end up into this. Looks like they locked up a little bit coming into the second to final turn. And then we're coming into sixth gear, turning into the final turn right now. Looks like they're going to open DRS and we're going to see what they're able to be put up. Looks like they're coming down the final straight right now and able to put up a 111.4. So taking P2.
Notice interestingly on board that Katya had a lot of fuel in the tank as well, so might be going in for multiple runs here. DRB. So Razzle with a comfortable lead for pole position right now. But on board at Katya, it looked like, they were taking it easy. And Razzle, like I said, is uh, increasing his advantage at the top with a 10-4-6-4. Also, I think cause bets are live, so you go in and gamble in some channel points. We are hoping to see more drivers tonight. I think Rob's Boy and M1K are running a little bit late, so we might have, more people finding out for that pole position spot. Going on board with the Mercedes of Mr. Bow right here, going through sector 2 right now, going into turn 9 and 10. I didn't see what their first sector split was, but let's go on board and see what they're going to do in the second sector. It's going to be a 50.3. Not sure what the sector times are looking like, to be honest, to be able to give you an idea of what or where this will put the Mercedes reserve driver here tonight. But it's coming across the final couple of turns, opens up the DRS, about to cross the line. It's going to be a 1:12.6, puts him up to P7.
Pretty decent lap by that. By the driver right there. I definitely think a lot of these drivers are able to make up a lot of time. I'm seeing a lot of lockouts, and I know on that last one he hit the gravel in one of those final corners. So definitely a lot of time I feel like to make up for these drivers.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Could you please
see,
invite Rob's boy? I think he is looking to get into the lobby. Thank you
I
for
can do
the
that.
follows as well. Firth Boy and Feely Pro. Make sure to join the community as well. I'll just drop in a quick link when I can. But Katya goes P2 with a 10-9.
Definitely closing in right now on Sarazzle, but still a little bit of a lead while Sarazzle's on the pits. We do got Speedy going around right now. I believe gonna put up his first time on the board, so interested to see what Speedy may be able to put up as he's coming through corners 9 and 10. Um, Looking a little smooth, keeping it real close to the um, corners.
Yeah, Speedy, our reigning constructors champion, AM3, middle sector of a 49.3. I think that's about a second clear of Mr. Bow. So we're looking at somewhere around 11, mid 11s to low 111s, I think, for Speedy Bullet right here. So still will be a bit off Katya and Surazzle. Or I was completely wrong. It's a 10-7, and it takes him up to P2. Fantastic lap there.
That was Yeah, I believe he got the fastest sectors for sector 2 and 3 right there too. So pretty impressive lap by Speedy to put up that 110.7.
Let's see who else is on the flyer here. Maybe McCrib, I think, coming across the second sector opens up the TRS. Or maybe not. I think he's a few seconds down. Is Katya about to start another lap? I,
No, the Rainbow Damon is actually currently on a hot lap right now. I'm going through Sector 2
uh,
through turns 9 and 10 right now.
Unfortunately, Rob's boy has left the session, so if you can please send him another invite. Let's see. Let's monitor our progress with Katya, but we'll go on board with Rainbow Demon here, coming across the second sector. Split 57. That will take her somewhere around, I would say, 11 mid 11s, as VSC Paul in Hell puts in a 10-9 to take him up to P3. Ooh, it touches the grass there a little bit, the Rainbow Demon. Coming across the line here, it's actually a 12-7, P11. So we'll go on board with Katya as a 10th up in the middle sector, 49.3. That was matching Speedy Bullet's lap. Oh, a big crash. Electric Entree in the background there as Katya puts herself up into P3. Entree with a huge crash. Take a look at that, actually. We can catch that on board when we look behind Katya there, a huge crash for Electric Entree, and he'll be making no further progress in this qualifying session.
That is very unfortunate right there. I feel like it is really easy to lose your car in some of these corners.
M1K also needs an invite if you can get him as well, frankly. Matthew Roach is my bro. Hello, Mr. Spades. How you doing, man? Good to see you in the chat, supporting your mate right here. Probably for the best. I'm on controller tonight. Oh, whoops, that's unfortunate. Entree. As we'll see who else is on a hot lap here. Srazzle, I think, is on a hot lap, so let's go on board with him. Paul in Hell is currently not, so we'll keep an eye out on Srazzle. Actually, he's not on a hot lap. Okay, we'll go on board with the McLaren, Entree's teammate. Thank you, Entree, for the dropping the link right there. As M1K needs another invite, he is not able to join, unfortunately. Not sure why, but as Paul and Hell,
Yeah, I'm getting that handled.
thank you. M1K has joined. Perfect. We are a good functioning unit right here in the AM3 comms booth tonight. Surazzle, I think, is about to start a hot lap, so let's go on board with him. If any of you did not know, Surazzle is my co-commentator's brother, so I will let you go on board with them.
Yeah, so it looks like he is going to be starting Sector 2, keeping it in 6 gears through corners 8, jumping down to 5 real quick, and then going through 9 and 10. He's looking pretty smooth right now. Looks like he's going to be finishing up Sector 2 at the moment. We'll see what the sector time is looking like at the end of this. A 48.7, so could be another possible fastest lap for him. We'll see how he ends this final corner coming into the final straight. Ooh, he went a little wide right there, and it did look like he invalidated his lap right there. So unfortunate for Sarazzle. Looks like he's just headed back into the pits to probably put on a new fresh pair and put another lap or two up and hopefully keep that provisional pole.
Yeah, I think so that was a good attempt. I think we'll come back to him to see what he can do. Uh, yeah, not
Ooh, it
sure.
does look like Rob's boy just was in a wall right there for a quick second. Coming into turn 8, not quite sure what happened. It does look like he's got pretty extensive damage on his car, so unfortunate for Rob's boy.
Is he on a hot lap? I guess not, unfortunately. So we'll go on board with Tin Man the Rowdy, championship leader. Uh, looks like he is not on a hot lap. Let's go on board with any of the Williams drivers. Or looks like McRib is slow. Chu is 2 tenths down on his time, but can still make up that going into the final sector. Or is he going into pits? He is choosing to go into the pits.
Yeah, I think right now with about 3 minutes left, if some of these drivers want to be able to get out on fresh tires, now is the time to go and be able to get out just in enough time to be able to put up a lap or two.
Yes, Gustavo, I think, is about to cross the line. He will improve, I think. Yeah, 11.7 takes him up to P10. 7 tenths improvement for the Mercedes. Let's see what our debutant Matthew Roach can do here. He's 3 tenths up on his first sector time. 2 tenths up. It lost a little bit of time going through the middle sector, but could still improve going into the final few corners. He is a 5 place grid penalty for McRib collision with Mr. Bow. That is unfortunate for the Williams. We shall see what happens with that. But Matthew Roach coming across the line here. One place improvement, P12, a 112.6 for the Aston Martin.
Still's got one more enough time to be able to put up another lap or so. Hopefully to get a little bit of improvement on there, getting these tires warmed up. So I think a lot of these drivers are going to be trying to do that as well and really push the limit for
Oh, looks like Rainbow Demon
Rainbow.
has retired. Yeah, unfortunate. Not sure what happened there. Coming out of turn three, I think. Katya, though, is on a flyer, 2 tenths up on the first sector. Purple first sector split for the V carb of Katya. See what their time is going through the middle sector. Takes that corner relatively well. Goes out. You need to go take a wide line there. Does that fairly well. Running in non ERS mode, but still 5 tenths up on their time. So they're looking to challenge um, Surazzle right now. And looks like an Aston Martin is going to be giving her a nice tow going into the final corner or going into the line. So this is going to be a 110-2 for Katya. Provisional poll. Can Surazzle mount any sort of reply here?
Looks like he is currently entering the last corner right now, so we'll see what Sorazzle's able to put up right now. A 110.23. So 3 tenths of a second faster than Katya to take provisional pole right there.
Let's see if Speedy Bullet can upset the top two here as McCrib has retired from the session. Here to support Speedy. Let's go, Speedy Bullet. So we got some support here. Going through. Oh, he's second down on his time, so not sure there. Let's go on board with VSC Paul in Hell. Can he challenge for pole position now? He's under a tenth up on his time in the first sector, so, or somewhere around there. Coming through turns, I believe they're 8 and 9,
Been
or
real
9 and
tight
10.
through those corners. Fastest sector 2 at the moment for BCA, BCA, BSC. Ugh.
Coming across the line now. Can he challenge for that pole position? It's going to be close. The McLaren is only a 10.5, but takes him up to P3 though. Mr. Bow, I don't think he's going to be improving on his time, so that's probably the end of qualifying.
Does look like that, so pretty good qualifying for all those drivers out there right now.
Yep, 10-2, so that is what was the poll prediction again? Under uh 110, 199 or over. I think it's the over that one. So I don't know how long I put the prediction out for though. I'm sorry if it was very uh, for a short amount of time. But we'll go through the results of qualifying here. Sarazel grabs another pole position by only 200ths of a second over Katya in P2. Paul and Hell in P3 with Speedy Bullet in 4, with Jay in 5, with Tin Man in 6, Scary Terry in 7, with McRib in 8, Raichu in 9, with Gustavo in 10, Rob's Boy in 11, Mr. Bow in 12, Roach, the debutante in 13th, Rainbow Demon 14th, and Electric Entree rounds out the field. Run me
I
my
think it's going to
point
be an
screen.
interesting race today with all those drivers, especially with those top three right there.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
always interested to see where Tin Man ends up. He always ends up finding, I feel like, up close to the front of the grid. So interested to see how he races today.
Yep. Looks like we have a dry race, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll wait. By since we have some time here, I'll put up something in the predictions if I can. Uh, let's go with the number of DNFs maybe. Uh, three or number of or safety cars and VSCs. Let's go with that. Three are under, four are over, 15 minutes. We'll go ahead with that prediction. And what's your prediction, by the way, for the race? What do you think is going to happen? Oh, I guess we don't have time. As five red lights, and away we go. Good start from Razzle. So is good start from Katya as well. Good start from the Ferrari of Tin Man. He's already alongside the McLaren of VSC Paul and Hell. They're fighting it out going into turn three. Tin Man the Rowdy is able to take up that position and is up into P3. But I don't think VSC Paul and Hell will be too unhappy though, as he is on the medium tires. Speedy Bullet on the hards, it looks like. We got M1K finally is able to take control of his car. He is in P16 though. I don't know if he was able to put in his setup, but we shall see how that goes for the Alpine. Good start
Yeah,
from
very
everybody.
interesting with the tire choice from Paul and Hell with that medium. I'm probably hoping just to last that one out for a little while and hopefully undercut some of these drivers. But it does look like Tim had a great start right there and is losing a little time behind Katya at the current moment. And we do see a yellow flag there for a quick second, so maybe something with Mr. Boy at the bottom.
The top two have already opened up a second gap on Team Mandarati, with Razzle taking the fastest lap of the race. Katya not too far behind. Softs are the tire of choice here, as Mr. Bow has seen himself in the wall there a little bit. Not sure if he's lost a wing or anything. Yes, he is going into the pits, unfortunately, for the Mercedes. But we are seeing Softs being the tire of choice here, with only one driver on the hards that's speedy. The rest are on the mediums.
Yeah, I feel like the softs are looking real good right now, but we'll see. It's a long race, 36 laps. So we'll see. I'm guessing they're going to be trying to go to possibly a hard after this to wait out the race because I know these soft tires, they can go pretty quickly in some of these races.
Oh, looks like we have a spinning Aston Martin of Rob's boy. Not sure what happened to him, but good bit of battling here going on. Matthew Roach is making up a lot of positions. He's up into P7 already. With those soft tires, he is making full use of them.
We've got a ton of great battles going on right now with all of these cars. M1K making up positions, and Gustavos in the back are also putting up some great times right there. And it does look like there is a
It's rainbow.
rainbow.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. As we look at the weather, it says overcast in about 15 minutes. So let's see what happens with the in terms of the weather. Tin Man Rowdy still looking to close in on that top two. He's just 1.1 or 1.0 seconds behind Srazu at the moment. Look, or getting ever so closer and is probably within that 1 second mark right now. So it is turning into a three-horse battle for three-way battle for the race win.
Yeah, right now it's all up in the air right now for some of these drivers. They just got to keep it clean, 33 more laps, and hopefully it'll play out for all of them real well. But it does look like Serrazzo is
Oh,
able to gain a
oh,
second
oh, oh!
over.
That is a big send from Matthew Rhodes there. Oh my God, I haven't seen a bigger send ever, I think, in contest of speed while commentating. We'll take a look at the replay real quick. But yeah, top two still exchanging the lead here as we go back. Take a look at that replay coming across in the DRS zone. Matthew Roach sending it from a big. Uh, yeah, that was a big one right there from him, as he's now battling it out with Ray Chu in the Williams.
Yeah, they're going on a great fight right now. We've got wheel to wheel battling between those two, keeping it real nice and clean. But Raichu is able to um, keep Matthew Roach behind up until right then, until actually Matthew just overtook Raichu. It looks like they're just going back and forth right now, wheel to wheel battling. So,
What
oop,
what 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 did I just see there? Did you see that?
yeah, I'm not quite sure what just happened. It looked like they collided and then just glitched through each other.
Oh,
So,
no, they're playing
ooh.
real dirty right now. Not sure what these guys are doing right here, but yeah, it's looking like a open lobby rather than a league race right now. Stewards will be busy tonight as we take a
Yeah,
look at the replay.
unfortunate.
Let's see here what other battles are going on. M1K making good progress there through the field. As we take a look at that replay, Williams just going through the Aston Martin right there.
Yeah, interesting what happened right there, but luckily both those drivers still in the race. But definitely does look like we've got M1K with the biggest gains in this race at the moment, with gaining 6 positions from the start. So he's definitely trying to catch up, but trying to defend off of the Mercedes right behind him.
M1K is in P10 right now. Speedy Bullet, who was the only person who started on the hards, is keeping up to pace with Paul and Hell, and he might be looking to make moves later on in this race. It's just 5 laps. Remember, there's 36 laps to go, or 30 laps to go, and if he can start to find time now on uh, against these soft and medium runners, he will slowly but surely come into the race, I think, at the end.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's a very bold choice to do the hards, but I do think since he's able to keep up right now with P4, it'll be very interesting to kind of see how it all plays out for him at the end.
Oh, we got a spinning Mercedes there. Uh, Not sure. I think, is he missing anything on his wing? I don't think so. Let's see Gustavo's car status. Looks like it's all fine. Yeah, I think he just had a moment right there, so should be good. Scary Terry now, catching up on Woodjay. Woodjay, or sorry, Scary Terry does have a time penalty and is also missing part of his right end plate too. He is carrying damage, so yeah, might just be looking to stick behind Woodjay for now and not fight until he can make a pit stop and get that wing fixed.
Yeah, probably the smartest choice by Scary Terry at the moment. Does look like he's able to keep up and keep control of that car without the right and wing plate, but I definitely know it does make that car a lot harder to drive. And if he has these drivers like Matthew Roach catch up, I think he's going to be in a little bit of a predicament without that front wing.
As we saw
He is look
M1K
like he's
actually.
catching on.
Sorry to cut you out there, but M1K had damage. Oh, it looks like a Rainbow Demon is going in for a spin right there. Not sure why they're just sitting there right on the track. If she's hoping for a safety car or just looking for some clean air to move out of the way. I think that's what it was.
Probably trying to avoid any crashing or anything like that. Probably, but it looks like, yep, front right wing is completely damaged for Rainbow. Very unfortunate. Probably gonna have to go back into the pits to fix that one.
As Katya and Razzle still battling out. Katya defends the inside line from Razzle, keeps P1. Speedy Bullet still trying to get VSE Paul in hell. Raichu and Matthew Road still going at it.
Yeah, this is a very good track. I feel like there's the DRS sections are not the biggest. It's just enough to catch up a little bit, and then you got only one on the main straight to be able to overtake. So I
Mhm.
feel like it's just gonna be a lot of back and forth between a lot of these drivers, just taking positions. And it'll be interesting to see what actually ends up happening towards the end of the race. It does look like Rainbow
Oh,
is retired from the
oh, oh, oh!
session.
As we see Matthew Roach and Ray Chu have a big moment there, and looks like the Aston Martin is losing a bunch of positions. Yeah, these guys are just you know just throwing the car every which way possible tonight. As we see Matthew Roach coming back in at Gustavo. Gustavo defends the position really well. Not sure what. As we have a virtual safety car, let's actually take a quick.
Wonder what caused the safety car.
I am not too sure actually, but let's take a quick look at the replay there. Matthew Roach and Ray Chu, I think, going at it in Sector 2 and just colliding and taking each other out there. Yeah, that was something for sure.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for those drivers. They got to keep it clean coming on this track um, to avoid that damage. And it does look like that cost them having to go into the pits to change those front wings and tires.
I think right now I mean, because it's a virtual, maybe it could be a strategic play as well. But they are like 19 seconds behind everybody, so never know. Tin Man has lost the lead too. He was able to creep into that DRS, but wasn't able to capitalize there. Paul and
Pretty
Hell.
close race so far.
Yeah, top five are not that far apart. Like VSC, Paul and Hell, and Speedy Bullet are on the mediums and the hards. They'll probably drive to for Raichu and probably Scary Terry. No, only Raichu, I think. Let's see. Penalties, yeah, just for Chu. That's unfortunate for the Williams.
Looks like we're back up to racing speed with the virtual safety car gone.
Sarazo has taken the lead of the race as well. Stick on board with Speedy and Paul and Hell because, well, if they can just work together, they can slowly catch up to Paul and Hell if possible. Sorry, Tin Man Rowdy.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if they decide to try to do that or if they're going to be trying to fight just for that position, which will probably cost them quite a bit of time if they do try to end up fighting through that. But we'll see what these drivers end up doing, as it does look like Speedy is staying within the DRS range right now and has a ton of ERS saved up. So probably going to be trying to take the move on Hell this lap if I had to guess.
Yep, DRS open on the Alpine. Trying to go down the inside, maybe? No. Decides to stay behind for another lap. As we have Gustavo, Rob's boy, and McRib in the battle for, and Entree as well, on the battle for P7. Gustavo makes the move, completes. Oh, a
Mm.
collision between Rob's
Oh,
boy and uh, was that McRib right there?
it. I believe so. I didn't get to see exactly it went so fast, but yeah, it looked like a collision. It looks like I think it was Rob's boy trying to take the inside a little too tight, and the other driver just not leaving enough room. It looked like, but unfortunate for those drivers right there, because it does look like McRib has wing damage.
Let's look at that. Yeah, I think missing left end plate, unfortunately, on the Williams, and they've also lost some quite a bit of time too, Gustavo. So this is the Mercedes chance to kind of pull away and maybe catch with Jay in P for P6.
And we'll see what they're able to do right now, as it does look like Speedy is going to take another attempt at all in hell right now, diving on the inside and able to take that P4 position.
As we have yellows, I believe we have a slowing Haas of a Scary Terry. Not sure what happened to him, but let's see if his car looks okay. Everything looks fine there, but very low temperatures on the tires, so maybe that's why they probably had a little bit of a spin or a moment going through sector 2, I believe.
Like Witjay also has front wing damage currently in P6. Wonder if that's
Hmm.
going to allow for Gustavo to catch up and make up a little bit of ground on those softs right now.
Yeah, Woodjay hasn't enabled his telemetry, so we can't see it on board. But yes, you're right. He is missing his right end plate. A good reminder for me to send those pings out to drivers to enable telemetry. It's we use that not only for these cool overlays, but also for our results. So people don't complain that, hey, where are the results at? So, you know, as we see Entree making the move on McRib up into P8, P9, sorry. Has a bit to catch. Rob's boy, I think, has caught up to Gustavo right here. It's within a second, unable to complete the move. McRib actually makes a move back on Electric Entree, takes him up to P9.
Yeah, it looked like he had the DRS and was just able to take him out on the straight, and he was able to take him on the outside of turn one, so it looked like he was flying down that straight right there.
Also, I've been noticing Tin Man is slowly but surely closing in on the top two. He's now only 1.2 seconds away. His tires versus maybe someone like a Surazzle or Katya. Yeah, Surazzle has plenty of wear on the left front, 58%, whereas Katya in P1 is only at 32. So a difference between setup we're definitely seeing here, or maybe tire temperatures, and I'm not too sure, but could be a couple of different things. Tin Man the Rowdy as well, having not as much wear as Surazzle, but he's at 42%, which is considerably less. I want to say.
Yeah, it's lap 14 for the soft, so I'm interested to see when some of these drivers are going to decide to go ahead and take a pit, as McRib also takes a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Um, but yeah, I believe for these top three drivers, I'm just curious to see when they're going to pit and what their pit strategies are going to look like for them, especially for Serrazzle with his high wear on his tires right now. Um, doesn't look like it's costing him too much time at the moment, though. Able to keep up with the Katya at the moment, so we'll see.
Yeah, it could be just in case of temperatures wise. Surazzle is seeing a lot of wear. You never know. At the end of the day, if you have like the grip to drive, I think you'll be okay. As we see yellows, not sure. Looks like we're fine right now. Scary Terry into the pits. VSC Paul in Hell. Scary Terry unfortunately has decided to retire from the race. Paul in Hell, what tire will he go on? I'm guessing the hard tires maybe till the end of the race. Yes, looks like he's going to the hards. Katya and Razzle, I believe they would want to switch to the medium. So But Tin Man the Rowdy, look at that. He is now only 4 tenths behind Surazzle. Yeah, and he's caught up to these leaders. And, you know, with Katya in the lead or overtaking the lead of the championship after Monaco, Tin Man the Rowdy will definitely be looking to respond to Katya's advances in the championship, and he'll be looking to take some points off of the red or V Carb driver.
Yeah, it looks like the fighting between Katya and Sarazel really caught up to them, and Tim Man was able to take great advantage of that. Um, Being able to be within that DRS range at the current moment does look like they're getting separated a little bit, but we will see what is going to be happening as Sarazel is losing a little bit of time through that last corner, but Sarazel and Tim Man both have ERS and DRS just wide open, trying to close that gap to Katya.
As Rob's boy makes the move on Gustavo up into P7 now. Oh, sorry, P6 for the Aston Martin. 2.5 seconds behind Witjay, who is running with damage, remember? So, it could be that he can catch. But Gustavo is fighting back, though, for that position, going down the inside. But looks like the Aston Martin will be able to fend off the advances of the Mercedes and keep the position. Meanwhile, Paul Hell is catching the pair pretty fast, so he'll be looking to make those overtakes pretty quickly. Uh, he'll also be looking for an undercut, maybe on the top two as well, as Katya is actually managed to break the DRS slightly, maybe.
Does look like Sarazel broke DRS to Tin Man. So looks like neither of the top three are gonna be, and it looks like top two, all three are going right now into the pits.
As Katya picks
Um,
up a 10-second. Oh, that is huge for the race.
that is massive for that P1 position right now. So unfortunate for Katya. Probably just so much pressure with those two drivers following in, but that is so unfortunate right there.
Speedy Bullet actually pits from those hard tires onto the mediums. Well, let's see if VSC Paul in Hell can actually get an undercut on Speedy Bullet. Actually, no. Speedy Bullet does come out a bit ahead, uh, right next to Rob's boy, few tenths ahead of Paul in Hell. So that undercut has not worked out for the McLaren.
Yeah, unfortunate. He's just now going to have to rely on that fighting between the two in front of him to be able to catch up and hopefully find the perfect time to get by both of them. But yeah, unfortunate right there. And it does look like we've got a lot of drivers making their pits right now. Whitjay is still on medium 16s, and Rob's boy is still on lap 16-year-old medium. So he still has to pit while Paul and Hell is on fresh hard. So I think he'll definitely be able to take that position from Rob.
Yeah, but we're on board with Paul and Hell right now. Let's see if he can complete that move. Rob's boy goes a bit wide there through turn 12, I think, and is going to be vulnerable to the McLaren driver going in, but he's choosing to pit. No, he actually gives him a dummy right there. Electric entree with a 3-second time penalty. Paul and Hell unable to make the move. Rob's boy holding on as we see Widjay and Speedy Bullet battling it out. Widjay yet to pit. Oh, a good switch back there from the Alpine. Completes the move and goes up into P4.
That was a beautiful move right there from Speedy to retake P4 right there. So a great job between those drivers, really fighting it out. And it looks like Speedy's really trying to warm up those mediums and really just try to pull away from Whitjay, which he looks like he's able to do at this current moment.
Katya has come out 3 seconds ahead of Surazzle. With the tire wear being such a big, factor in this race, we've seen from the initial stint, Surazzle has a lot of wear on his tires. Uh, could that, help Katya get that 10-second lead that she needs to win this race? As Surazzle gets the fastest lap of the race. with a 13.0. That could be a
Yeah,
factor, though.
possible. Yeah, I think on lap 30, 33, these tires are going to start to feel it. So it's going to be yeah, really having to save those tires at the end to be able to maximize them towards the end of the race. But that 10-second gap is going to be a big take, but it does look like they are able to start to pull away a little bit. They're at 3.6 seconds currently, so about 6, 7 more seconds they got to pull on Sarazzle. Um, and that's just Razzle hoping Tin Man just stays the second and a half behind him and doesn't cause them to fight to let Katya gain even more time. So we'll see how this ends up.
Yeah, I think Katya gained about half a second going through the first couple of sectors alone. So, it could be because of ERS management and whatnot. But yeah, Katya is right now flying. Let's look at the battery level actually. Katya is only at 25%. I think going for the fastest lap of the race. So yeah, gets the fastest laps. Razzle also only on 9%. Maybe he can counter with the fast lap. No, I don't think so. Tin Man Rowdy has the most ERS out of the top three. Speedy Bullet as well. He's at 40%, so not too bad for the Alpine.
Yeah, the batteries I feel like can charge pretty quickly through this track. So if some of these drivers have the ERS just off and to overtake, they'll probably be able to gain that ERS pretty quickly, but give up a little bit of time throughout the track. But it
Hmm.
could be an important factor just to have that ERS to be able to hold off on that long straight.
Yep, for sure. As we see M1, sorry, Rob's boy finally pit comes back out in P12. We'll stay on board with this battle right here with Jay. I think he's the only
Ooh.
one yet to pit.
Looks like Rob's boy is into the wall as well. Broken front wing. It was a collision with Electricante and Rob's boy. I think at the end of sector or in the middle of sector one right there. So unfortunate for them right there.
Not the ideal outlap that you want after putting on a fresh set of soft tires. Uh, they'll have to probably pit again as Whitjay finally goes into the pits. Hopefully, no time penalties. No. So I think we had everybody pit at least once now. As Speedy Bullet is slowly closing in on Tin Man the Rowdy. 1.4 seconds the gap up to P3 for Speedy. Surazzle still maintaining that 3.3, 3.5 second gap. Let's see what their battery levels have been throughout this stint. Surazzle's on 20, Katya is on 30 as well. So pretty similar. Both of them are pushing Surazzle to stay within that 10-second mark to win this race. And Katya to open up that gap. We shall see. We still have 16 laps to go in this race.
It does look like Speedy Bullet is catching up to Tin Man right now. Um, Entering the final corner in the DRS zone right now, so he's able to, yep, he's able to get DRS and he's got about 40% battery. It looks like he might be just holding that back right now, trying to just gain a little bit of time, but Speedy has been able to get into that DRS zone now of Tin Man, so it's going to be very unfortunate. And it does look like
Oh,
a
yeah.
virtual safety car.
Is that Mr. Bow right there missing his front wing? That is unfortunate for the Mercedes. He has to come in for another pit stop. He is already a lap over. So, yeah, 10-second penalty. He might just call it quit tonight. But if he does choose to continue, uh, kudos to you, Mr. Bow. I hope you do. Let's see if anybody chooses to pit, though. Would you pit? No, we already had TRS enabled, so I don't think anybody can pit, at least from the top. McRib is into the pits, though. He'll be losing a lot of time, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think right now every driver's probably just got to race their tires out for the rest of the race, if I would have to guess. Maybe if they actually get a real safety car, then I would maybe think about pitting for some of those drivers. But with those virtuals just happening, I think these drivers are just going to stay out.
Not sure what happened to M1K, though. He was battling Matthew Roach up for P6, I think. Uh, yeah, he did. pit again, so maybe a collision with our debutant. Not sure. As the Williams pair.
Does look like Raichu is in the gravel in the first turn, so unfortunate for yeah the Williams cars today.
Surazzle now is 4.7 seconds behind Katya. So Katya is slowly but surely, picking up that pace. Uh, yeah, we'll see. We'll go on board with this battle right here, as Raichu has retired from the race. Is it going to be a safety car? It is a safety car. This has thrown a big wrench in Katya's plans, but Katya can pit and take that 10-second penalty away. But Surazzle, mind you, you have to be close so that you will let as many drivers as possible overtake Katya. So that is what you need to do, my friend, as we will go
But
with
yep,
the.
Katya's going into the pits to serve the penalty at the moment. So Razzle's also going into the pits.
I think Katya is going to come out right behind, ahead of Tin Man, unfortunately.
The
But
Tin Man, the top four just pitted for new tires, so hopefully that will do them good. Top five have all pitted.
oh, Tin Man does come out slightly ahead of Katya, so he does take P2. But Speedy Bullet is still in P4. VSC Paul and Hell P5. Uh, I think everybody should be going on to that set of soft tires maybe for the race.
It's like Sir Razzle and Katya, and the only
No.
person in the top five right now on softs is Tin Man. Able to have that fresh softs. Everyone else is on those fresh mediums.
Gustavo and Woodjay not choosing to pit. What about Electric Entree? He's not chosen to pit as well. Matthew Roach going in for a set of hard tire, or sorry, soft tires. M1K also doesn't choose to pit on 3-lap old hard tires. As we have a safety car right now, I would like to just introduce you guys to our new sponsors, Trax VR. They just started sponsoring us a couple of days ago. Make sure to check them out. They have a lot of F1 merchandising and some sim gear as well. You can also get some pretty good discounts if you join the community and use our links to buy the products. They have a lot of apparel stuff like hoodies, t-shirts, F1 merchandising, obviously, caps, like flags and logos and stuff, as well as some Moza gear, I think. They have a couple of other stuff too. So yeah, make sure to check them out. They're a North American-based company. They ship all over the world, I think, or I know they ship to North America, that is U.S. and Canada, as well as Mexico, I think, and then South America, as well as Europe. I'm not sure about Asia, but give it a go. Maybe they do, but I definitely know they ship out to those three continents, like I mentioned. So yeah, make sure to check out Tracks VR, and yeah, uh, thank you for sponsoring as well. As we wait for our safety car, Mr. Bow actually is in the pits for a set of used mediums. Unfortunately for him, he does not have a fresh set, I believe.
Fortunate for not being able to have any fresh tires to be putting on right now.
Yep. So yeah, we got a mix of tires up at the front. Tin Man the Rowdy, only person to have a fresh set of softs. Everyone else choosing the mediums. What do you think? Do you think Tin Man can actually make those softs last for about? I think the safety car will go out on at the end of lap 26, maybe. So 10 laps, 9 laps on those softs. I think it's doable.
I think it is. I think it definitely will slow down a little bit, but I think it'll be doable. He's just got to get away from Katya pretty quickly. Um, but I am noticing that there is a lot of overcast happening. right now
But
on this track. So
let's interesting that you say that. Let's look at the weather actually. It does still say overcast for the next 15 minutes with only 15% chance of rain. So maybe no rain, but you never know. These overlays could, or the telemetry data might not always be the best, but we'll see how things work
we
out.
may be in for a surprise. I mean, 10
Hmm.
laps, it'll probably stay like this if I had to guess. I
Yeah.
feel like it would be interesting to see some rain come in the last uh 6 laps or so, but don't
Hmm.
think that's going to be happening, and probably not even enough to make these tires want to change their tires. So
Yeah, for sure.
hopefully we're on the last lap of the safety car right now. I mean, it's really going to be all up to Sarazzle to be able to pull that start away,
Hmm.
um, trying to keep Tim and Katya behind. But I do think with all these drivers bunched up now, I think it's a fair fight for the top 4 or 5.
Yeah, for sure. Srazzle started the race in P1, is still P1 after 26 laps. Uh, Closest challenger, Tin Man the Rowdy, started P6. Now he's up into P2. Katya started P3, down a position. Speedy Bullet stays where he is. So it's going to be an interesting fight between these top five, top six drivers as the safety car is coming in. Let's go on to our regularly scheduled programming. And let's wait and see when Razzle decides to go. Safety car is still not in, so Razzle still waiting though, not going right now. And now he does. Tin Man the Rowdy and Katya fighting, trying to see if they can go down the inside of Tin Man. No going there. Everybody looks like they're doing really well. Matthew Roach making moves again on those soft tires. Let's go on board with the Aston Martin. Takes a wide line, looking to make the move on Whitjay. Goes up into P7. Goes down the inside of Gustavo up into P6. They're just flying right now. Up maybe 2, 3 positions up into. Oh, somebody's off there. I think it's his teammate. Rob's boy into the wall, narrowly avoiding it. Entree down a.
Electric entree into the sand.
Ooh, Rob's boy almost making collision with Entree there. Manages to hang on. Top four, I think top 10 are all within that 1 second of each other. As I say that, Gustavo drops down a little bit as Matthew Roach gets a 3 second time penalty. They are in this fight for the win, though, as Tin Man Rowdy looks to make a move around the outside, is now in the lead of the race for the first time here in Zandvoort. Katya looking to make that move onto Razzle down the inside. A fantastic move from the RB. Gets that P2. But Razzle looking to see if he can get Katya back immediately. Katya gets a good getaway there and is blocked out to Razzle, who's down after the safety car restart a couple of positions.
Yeah, very unfortunate, but it does look like Tim was able to kind of pull away right there. They're all still within that DRS range, so I always feel like on that main straight, if they're that close, it's always kind of unfortunate being in that P1 position to pull away. But hopefully with Tim on those soft tires, he'll just be able to have a little bit of enough speed to keep that P1 position with Kaya and Sarazzle just fighting right behind to get there.
Look at that BK with an 18 months of subscription streak going on there. BK definitely flexing a little bit right now as the top two. Will Katya finally be able to make that move back into the lead of the race? No, Tin Man covers off the inside line and is able to hold Katya behind for another lap. But Katya is very close and is all over the back of that Ferrari.
Yeah, I think with those two fighting, it's going to give a chance for possibly Speedy or so Razzle to take advantage of that and possibly gain some positions and gain some time while they're fighting. But with about 7 laps left, we'll see what happens with these top five, all within the second of each other. So very close fight to see how this is going to end.
Matthew Roach dropping off of that 1 second mark to the top five. So it's down to these five for the race win. Tin Man the Rowdy still maintaining that lead of the race. Let's see what the battery levels are. Katya has a good chunk left. Tin Man the Rowdy, he does too. So not too bad. It's not looking too bad. Srazzle actually has the most used among the top three. Speedy Bullet gets a fast lap of the race. 12.5. Katya and Srazzle fighting it out again. Srazzle looking to make that move, stick down the inside, and gets that move done back on Katya and
Ooh,
moves himself up into P2.
that was a very good move right there, especially with Speedy with the fastest lap right behind. Definitely is not the person I'd want behind me right now. So making that move into P2, making Katya fight Speedy, I think is a really smart move.
Yeah, top four definitely looking like yeah, they're pulling away from everybody. VSC Paul in Hell, I think he's doing a great job. He's not always been in the fight for the win, so good to see him fighting it out. This close to the top four. So well done to him. Great job, good drive. Let's see if he can make up those couple of positions and get himself onto the podium.
It looks like a couple close fights along the top. We got M1K fighting Gustavo right now. Um, just only 100 seconds below going into the straight. Looks like he's able to take that position on Gustavo. Looking to hunt down Matthew Roach right now.
He's still on those 10 lap old hard tires, the only one on the hards I think in this entire race. So maybe he has a little bit of a trick up his sleeve. Maybe can get himself up into the top five, top six. 2.5 seconds to Roach there with a 3 second time penalty against the Aston Martin's name as well. He will be looking to seal that sixth position. As VSC Paulinel actually is dropping out of the fight for the win here a little bit. So maybe that's his best position for the race. Maybe not. We'll see.
Does look like the top three right now. Sorazo has kind of closed the gap on Tin Man, but he's going to be trying to make that move right now on him going into this straight right now. Fortune for Tin Man with no DRS going to be able to use to defend against this, and Sorazo's just going to pass him real quick. And Katya, who it looked like she was going to try to go on the inside, but decided to stay out.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if you really want to be in the lead of this race going into the last lap or the penultimate lap, I think. Uh, with DRS and ERS being so powerful, I would maybe want to be in P2 with like maybe half a tenth going in through the final corner, but that's just me. As we have Sector 1 yellows, not sure what. It looks like everybody is still, facing the right way, so I think we should be good. Uh,
I think for Sorazo to have on that last straight, I think if he's going to have any sort of chance of fighting them off, he's going to want at least 60
oh,
or
oh,
70% of that battery available.
what's happening here? Katya and Speedy Bullet are, going together, but looks like Speedy Bullet is able to concede that position. As I think Matt Roach made a mistake, and that has allowed M1K to close up behind the Aston Martin, and he's up into or he's still in P7, but with the DRS, should be able to make the move going into turn one. Oh my God, that was a bit of a lunge there from the Aston Martin, but clean move. Gets the position up into P6. Unfortunately, I think for M1K, that's the maximum he can do tonight. He is 7 seconds behind the top five, so late entry into qualifying for him, and you know P6, not too bad of a result, starting at the bottom.
It's not a bad result at all. I feel like, um, especially for him. I mean, he gained 10 positions since the start of the race. So great race from MLK. Smart to have those hards, and he's got to defend off Matthew now. Hopefully, being able to hold him back on those hards.
Top three definitely have a lot of ERS. Top four, or Speedy Bullet actually had the lowest, but yeah, Katya now will be looking to make a move on Tin Man. Possibly is going to be 2-for-1 overtake right here. Yes, it is. Oh, a big collision there. Oh, Katya, I think is off a little bit. But they still managed to keep P2. These guys are just fighting it out tooth and nail going into the final few laps of the race. Tin Man the Rowdy now picks up the lead with Katya now in P2. Srazzle lost a couple of positions in P3. I'm sorry, Speedy Bullet right behind these guys, waiting for a mistake to and waiting to capitalize, still in P4.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, like you said, on being on the last lap, where you want to be in the positions. Because I'm expecting probably Kaya and Sarazzle to both overtake Tim coming on to lap 35. So we'll see how these drivers are able to try to defend that off, if Tim's able to defend them off, or if he's going to try to put himself in the perfect position for the last lap. But it is a very close battle between these top four right now.
And BK, I think it was Surazzle. Surazzle started on pole position tonight as we go into the penultimate lap of the race. Can Katya and Surazzle complete the move on Tin Man? Uh, one position down is Tin Man, but he tries to defend the inside. I would just give up the position if I were Tin Man and stick close behind. He is still in prime position for that victory, or stay in prime position for that victory. Maybe lose a couple of spots here in the final lap with Katya, and that would really dent her charge for the championship. Tin Man needs that win tonight to be able to maintain or to be able to get that gap down, possibly overtake Katya in the championship. Not sure, but he is very close though. Only 3 tenths behind going into turns 9 and 10, I think. Opens up. He's going to be getting DRS though. That should help close the gap to Katya for both Tin Man, Razzle, and Speedy.
It's going to be a very interesting last lap between these final four, trying to take advantages of those DRS areas. See if Katya is going to be able to maintain P1 coming into turn one on the final lap. Does look like Sarazo and Timan are going to be coming fast with that DRS and ERS just wide open right there.
Looks like everybody's blinking though. Katya defends the inside. Maybe. Oh, a bit of contact
Ooh,
between Razzle and Tin Man going into the final couple of corners. Katya still has the lead of the race going into the final lap. Speedy Bullet still sticking behind. Uh, the top two, the top three, in fact. Paul and Hell has dropped out a little bit, but he will get P5, I think, if he doesn't make any mistakes. But it is still up for grabs. Who is going to win this race? Tin Mandarati looking to make the move down the inside, going into turn 7. Will he get it in turn 8? No. Katya shuts the door. Going into the last DRS, though, before the final straight, Tin Mandarati will be looking to be as close as possible to the RB. Will be everything will be about the ERS. How much ERS do they have? As Tin Man makes a mistake, goes wide, misses the apex completely. Going into the final couple of corners here, turns 13 and 14. The Ferrari, will he have the pace to get the win, or will Katya be able to get that victory across the finish line? Yes, it looks like they do. Katya wins here in Zandvoort. Tin Man in P2. Surazzle, unfortunately, in P3. Speedy couldn't make up those positions in P4.
that was a very close race for all of those drivers, especially Katya being able to hold off that last little DRX section. But great race between all of those drivers right there.
Matthew Roach dropped down to P10 as Gustavo, Wiche, and McRib finished 7, 8, and 9 respectively. Entree just missing out on P10 actually by 7 tenths. Rob's Boy in P12 and Mr. Bow in 13th.
What a great race there was.
Yeah, the fight at the top was really interesting. I really like that. But Katya is on a roll. Another victory. I think that takes her up to like 4 victories this season. 5, maybe? I'm not sure. But yeah, it was a dominant display by the Recarb. Started P2, got a 10-second penalty, but with that safety car coming to the rescue and then is able to take the victory. Recarb with another race win.
Yeah, that got real lucky with the safety car able to take that 10-second time penalty off kind of during that time. But yeah, great race, being able to keep up, and it was a fun one between all these drivers, and especially Speedy too. He was right there behind, almost in P3.
Yeah, unfortunately he couldn't capitalize, but it is what it is. Sometimes there's just not enough space. But he does get the fastest lap, so that's good. We'll just go through our final standings here. Do you want to actually take them through?
So we got in P1 Katya, following P2 Tim and the Rowdy, and then P3 Serazzle. And then in 4 we got Speedy, in 5 VSC Paul and Hell, with M1K in 6. In 7th is Gustavo, 8th with Jay, McGribb at 9th, and following out and ending the points is Matthew Roach, with Electric Entree, Rob's Boy, Mr. Boo, and Raichu to finish out the grid tonight.
I'm only 3 DNF, so not too bad, not too bad. As we s- give us a couple of moments, we'll be heading to our interviews. Um, yep, just give us a few moments here. I'm just gonna invite who was in the booth again? Sorry, it's Razzle and
Serazzle,
Tin Man, right?
yes.
Okay, Katya never joined, so we'll just invite them, and we'll just leave an open invitation for Katya. But Razzle and Tin Man, Katya, we'll just send an invite out, see if they want to join. If not, oh well. But yeah, what did you think of the race? Overall
I
thoughts?
thought it I thought it was a great race, honestly. I mean, especially after that safety car. I feel like if that safety car didn't come, there would have just been a big gap between a lot of those drivers. But with that safety car, they were able to really just stay within a second of each other, the top four for those final couple of laps, which just really made a fun race to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Those last few laps were really good. I think. Yeah. You know, is anybody could have won. I think right there at the end. It was a. Yeah, I think it all depended on who got the better exits out of the corners, and who had the most DRS, maybe ERS, sorry. And yeah, I think it just played out like it did. But yeah, I don't think Katya would be joining. So we'll go on to our uh, P3 finisher, Razzle. Hey, Razzle, how you doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good, thanks. Talk us through that race. You got pole position. Sally wasn't able to capitalize, but did you ever think, there's a chance to win? Uh, or yeah, just talk us through it.
I know I started on pole, and then it was kind of back and forth with Katya for a little while, and then she started to pull away, but she had the 10 seconds, so I didn't think too much of it. And then the safety car kind of came, and that kind of just brought everyone back together. And then those last couple laps, I got a DRS train out of it, and Tim and Katya kind of just took over me. And then the last like 3 laps, they were going side by side every corner, and I couldn't find any space to get through. And so they were just able to hold it on the last corners, but it's okay. I'll take a P3. Still happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it was good racing and a lot of respect shown between all of you guys there at the top. So yeah, I think, yeah, overall it felt really good. Also, I think I noticed something on your the telemetry data. Your front left was wearing a lot. Is that correct? I saw at the end of the first stint you were at something like 57% wear on your soft tires. So, yeah, but your competition had only like 30 to 40%. Is that true, or were we seeing something that was not true or something like that? Talk us through your.
Um, it might have been. I'm not 100% sure. I know it was getting high, but I was just pushing real hard. And I was just pushing fast. So
Mhm.
I felt like I was in control. I wasn't really felt like I was losing too much time. We were going back and forth, and so when I was able just to follow Katya behind into the pits on the under our mediums, I felt good about it. So yeah, it could have been up there, but I'm not 100% sure.
Also, with Katya getting that 10 seconds, she was trying to pull away there a little bit. Did you ever think you would probably get out of that 10-second window to lose that victory at that point in the race?
She was pulling out. I was hoping and I had a little faith that I was going to keep within the 10
Hmm.
seconds, but like I said, that safety car kind of came in and then
Yeah, we'll never
everything kind of
know.
changed after that.
Yeah, for sure. But either way, good race. Fragley, any questions for your brother right here?
Um, I just feel like during that last little section, were you trying to save any ERS to try to hold off and overtake on that straight, or whereas everybody kind of pushing you, forcing you to use the ERS kind of throughout the whole track?
I was trying to be pretty conservative throughout the track. I was trying to keep it so on the straight I had about 60% every time. And it almost got the job done, but it just wasn't enough. Coming into the corners, they just ended up splitting out, and I wasn't able to go on the under or over them, and they just kept the position. So I tried to keep it, but it was good.
Yeah, well, good race. I thought it was a good one for you. Good P3, so congrats on that.
Thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations again, Razzle. Hopefully, you'll be able to convert that pole position to a victory maybe next race. So,
One of these days.
yeah. Anyway, moving on to our P2 finisher, Tin Man, our resident, booth, uh, I don't know, a commentary booth or interview booth, the resident, Tin Man Rowdy. Hey, how you doing, man?
Doing really good.
Awesome. Yeah, describe that race to us because at the beginning you tried to get into DRS of Kachi and Sarazel. You weren't able to, and then the safety car came out. You're the only one on those soft tires. What was the thinking behind that? Uh, and not just that, but throughout the race, what were you going through?
Well, in qualifying, I only went out on one set of tires, so I'm thinking that's where my extra set of softs may have came from,
Hmm.
because I thought everybody was gonna do that too, and then I saw everyone on medium, so I'm like, did I play this right? But in the beginning, when I was trying to get DRS, I didn't realize I left my ERS button pushed. So about lap 3 or 4, I'm sitting there looking down, and I'm like, 6%. What the heck's going on? And I didn't realize I had the button held. But then once I lost DRS, I was like, well, I got a big enough gap on P4 at the moment that I felt like I could at least maintain it. And then the safety car came in. I was kind of just playing it off on depending on what the two in front of me did. And Katja, were able to serve their 10-second. That's how I managed to get in front of them. I
Hmm.
was hoping I could, being on the soft side, be able to hold them off, and I wasn't. I was trying my absolute hardest. I don't know if you saw on the stream or not, but I brought it side by side with her in places that most people probably wouldn't. But I was like, this is my chance. I'm taking it now.
Yeah, I think
But
we
I didn't
did.
manage to get there.
Yeah, we did catch a couple of instances, but I also saw on the last lap coming out of the penultimate corners, the back DRS straight, and going into that corner, I think it's turn 10 and 11. It looked like you missed the apex there and went a little bit wide. Is that why you weren't able to, be as close to Katya going into the checkered flag?
Yeah, I was trying to push it for everything it had. I was just trying to brake a little bit later, just push
Hmm.
it to the absolute limit. And I judged my braking zone a little too late, so I pushed the corner out harder than I wanted to, and I was like, crap. So I don't know if I would have been close enough still if I didn't mess that up, but it definitely would have been a heck of a photo finish, I think.
Yeah, for sure. But that was unfortunate there. But it is what it is. What do you think going into the next few races? You've lost the lead in the championship in the last race, and now Kachi is probably going to extend that a little bit.
Yeah,
But you're
11
still in the
point gap.
fight. Yeah, you're still in the
I've already done
fight.
the math.
Sorry, what's the point gap did you say it was?
I think it's 11.
11. Okay. So not too much, deficit. What do you think, you can do differently to get the win or something like that? Because Kachi's been on a roll a little bit recently because, it's not like that they're opening up big margins in their victories, but it's just like at the end they have that little bit extra. So what can you do to get that little extra?
Well, I don't know if Katya practices or not, but I don't at all. The only practices I haven't raced since we raced in Monaco
God,
at
yeah.
all. My practice laps were 2 laps of hot laps in time trial 10 minutes before the race. So I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to practice a little bit every week instead of not practicing and maybe get a little bit of an edge back and take
hmm
it away from Katya.
Yeah, maybe that will. I think that will definitely help. Not gonna lie. Instead of taking something like a TT setup or something like that, and getting some an actual race setup. I don't know if you do that, but just
Yeah, my setups are all made for race. None of
oh,
mine are
okay.
for time trial.
Oh, okay, cool. But it still takes a little bit. Going into like a Grand Prix mode and practicing is a lot different than doing it in TT. So yeah, maybe that'll help. Yeah, I think that's all the questions I had. Fragley, anything from your side?
Not too many questions from my side. I mean, I just know on the last couple of laps there where you guys were just so close. Is there any thought behind of like I want to be in P2 on lap 34 trying to get through, or was your head at just P1 the whole time?
My head was P1. There's if you ain't first or last, man.
That's a very fair point. I just know in some of those straights, it's you can get some advantages on that DRS straight, and you can lose a lot of time if you're not within it. So, just wondering if you had any of that thought process in your mind of where you wanted to be in those last couple of laps.
I definitely wanted to be at least a position behind Katya if I wasn't able to beat her. Like if I wasn't able to get P1, I wanted to at least be P2 right behind her. That way I knew she still can't get too far from me. That way I'm still making her nervous.
No, yeah, I feel you, but no, great race.
Yeah, thank you guys. It was a good race. Everybody did a good job with Jay. Again, to him, he had a good race. He had a misfortunate event, had a little bit of wing damage, but he's bringing it together. If he can just avoid the chaos of other people or getting bumped, he'll be up there.
Yeah, for sure. I think he had a good, decent race. I think he lost his wing or something like that in the first few laps. But yeah, I mean, hopefully he can help you guys win the constructors too. So we'll see how
Yep,
that
I,
goes.
I love my teammate. We were
Mhm.
season 10 constructors, so let's do it for season 14. Or is it 15?
Oh, I wish you good luck for that.
Yep, I hope to do it again.
Awesome. Well, with that, I think we are done with the interviews. Unfortunately, Katya hasn't been able to join us, but fantastic victory again from the weak carb, and they're probably going to extend like you heard from Tim, and they're going to extend their lead in the championship by 11 points now. So we still have got a fight on our hands. What do you think? How is this championship going to go down, Fragley?
I think it's going to be a close one between some of these drivers. I think the Drivers' Championship, Katya is definitely showing a lot for that. And Tim keeps making in these podiums. So I think it's going to end up being real close in both of them.
Yeah, I think it's going to go down to round 12 in Abu Dhabi. I think definitely has the potential of, something like a Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen has finished in 2021. You never know.
It would be a fun one to watch, I feel like, if that's what it came down to. Everybody be elbows out for those last couple, for that last one, which would be a fun race to watch. So.
Oh, I would commentate on that. I would love to commentate on that race. But yeah, I think with that said, any final thoughts before we end the stream tonight?
Just excited for next week. I know a lot of these drivers have been doing real good, especially watching tonight with those top four. I mean, P1 is up for grabs for any one of those drivers. So excited to see what Spa is going to look like next week.
Yes, we are.
Um, and I know that's a very different track from Zanderfort. So we'll see who's able to really do well at Spa next week.
Yeah, pretty low downforce track, Spa, one of the most iconic tracks in Formula One. So I'm really excited to commentate next week as well as race there as well. So yeah, it will be an interesting one. That is going to be round 8 in the championship, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, you can catch us in for action from Spa same time next week at 9 p.m. Eastern for AM3. Also, racing is not over this week in Contest of Speed. We have 4 more races to go, 2 EU and 2 AM side. EU2 and AM2 are on tomorrow. EU2 at 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK, and AM2 at 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. UK, I think. And then on Thursday, it's going to be the AM1 and E1, same times like I mentioned before. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys next week. Until then, stay safe, have fun. See you all in Spa.
See you.
Try the all-new Double Sonic Smasher and at a half price drink in the app. Live free.
in audio. In audio. In audio.